Maintain it or lose it. Today, we are talking house maintenance. Hey y'all, welcome to Ginger Walkabout. So, today we are going to talk about house maintenance. We did the van maintenance video, right? We did the how to take care of your engine, and get the Ram dealer to do the right thing and your tires. Now we got to talk about house maintenance. And by house, I mean the part that you live in, the part that Winnebago built out on the van. Some maintenance has to be done. And if you got to take care of your investment. So, any good discussion of maintenance is going to begin with a discussion about your manuals. So when you buy your Winnebago, all your manuals are in here. Now, don't wait to buy a Winnebago and get your manuals, okay? Go online and download the manuals and start reading them before you even own the daggum thing. Know what you're getting into, okay? It also helps to have them electronically because you can search them in a pinch and not be flipping through them. Because as we have discussed, there is a lot of material in here, okay? I mean, seriously, y'all. It like books upon books upon books of manuals. But, what you're going to mainly want is your supplemental, and your owner's manual. So I need you to read these. I need you to commit them to memory. Read them more than once. It's going to talk about the things that you need to do to properly maintain your vehicle. Because if you don't do some of those things and something breaks, they're going to be like, you didn't follow the manual, you didn't do the propers, and we're not going to cover it. So I suggest you read your manual and you do the necessary maintenance as laid out specifically by the manufacturer. Let's get on with it. Okay, so a couple of the things maintenance-wise are also serious safety issues, okay? Fire is a big issue with RVs. I don't know if you know this, but it is. So, also, you got LP on board, and LP fumes, you shouldn't be breathing in just the LP fumes. Also, you blow your dang rig up. So, the Winnebago comes equipped with several safety detectors. 3 to be specific. And all 3 of them need to be in working order and need to be tested on the regular. Okay? So here we go. So here's your carbon monoxide detector. Okay? Now, carbon monoxide, the silent killer. Because it's colorless, odorless, tasteless. You just wake up dead. So, like all the other detectors, you just push the button and it makes a noise that my dog hates. But if it's beeping, then you know it's good. There we go. Whiskey Dog is not amused by the alarm testing. This is not his favorite part of maintenance day. Alright, then you got your smoke detector. Regular old smoke detector. So, you got instructions here too to test it after it's been in storage before each trip and at least once per week during use. Failure to do so, death, serious injury. Now, here's the thing. The smoke detector is right over the stove. Okay? So, every time I cook, I have to take the battery out of the smoke detector. And if I forget, it does go off. So, I know it works. But anyway, you still go and test it. There you go. Smoke detector works. Also, again, you open it up. There's your battery. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Just like at home. Alright, so for the third detector, you're going to need to get down here on the floor. Now, here's the thing. You're going to have to get down here on the floor for several items in the house maintenance category. So, you need to understand that. So if you have a hard time getting down on the floor or getting back up from the floor, you need to consider these things when purchasing an RV. Because down here is your LP detector. Now, this is going to be the one detector you probably, if you've never had an RV, you haven't dealt with, because most houses don't have LP. But this one is the same, like RV propane alarm. It's the same setup as all the other alarms. You got a green light, so that's good. And then you push the test. There you go. Make sure it's working. Yeah, this is one too. If this one goes off, well, if any of these alarms go off, you need to evacuate immediately and assess, because you got problems. But the LP, you're probably gonna smell it. I'm not gonna lie. But the thing is, what if you're sleeping, right? If you're sleeping and all of a sudden you got an LP leak, you won't necessarily wake up. This bad boy, that's going to wake you up. Okay, so the next broad category of maintenance items is going to be your filters. So you basically have two kinds of filters in the van. You got your air filters and you got your water filters. So let's start with the air. So your air conditioner has two filters, one on each side. So there's two little tabs, and you just give it a little pressure and you pop it down. And then this little filter just kind of pops right out. That's what you're looking for right there. Now, as you can see, mine's clean because I've cleaned it and I haven't really been using the AC. But there's one on each side, and you clean that out. All right, so once your filter's nice and clean, there's tabs that it just sits in. So you just put it right back in there, and then put your cover right back on. Now, this is like, not the highest quality plastic, so don't force it and break it, but snaps right in there. Anyway, and then again, you do the one on the other side. Okay, next air filter you're gonna have is on your MaxxAir Fan. Okay, so the MaxxAir Fan only sucks air out. Okay, but this also, because once you open this, it's open to the air, and the buggies can come in. So that's why you got a screen. It's not really a filter. It's just a screen. So let's see. You got these tabs that just turn, that hold this thing in. You just turn them. It's pretty easy. You just turn them, and then this comes down. Okay? So you're going to want to clean this. You're also going to want to clean the schmutz off the fan blades, which I definitely need to do. Look here, y'all. Look at all the little buggies and little grossies. I don't even know what that was at some point. But anyway, so yeah, your MaxxAir Fan gets gross. So you need to clean all that. Okay, y'all. So I just cleaned the fan, right, with my wipes. And I knew the screen needed to be cleaned. I had no idea how much funk was up in there. I mean, like, seriously, disgusting. So, however dirty you think your fan is, it is at least 5 times worse. So, you need to really pay attention to that thing and keep it clean. Remember, because you're also using it, basically, I'm also using it as the exhaust fan for my range. So when I cook, I open the slider window, and I turn the fan on, and it pulls air up and out. And so, yeah, y'all, you have no idea. It's so gross. All right, y'all, so that basically covers your air filters. I mean, you should probably clean the screens on your windows from time to time as well, but I haven't figured out a good way to do that because you can't take them down, and they're very delicate. So if someone has a good idea on how to clean the screens on the windows, then by all means, let us know, because I would be very interested. So anyway, then now the other filter, as I mentioned, water. We got filters on water pumps. So here we go. Okay, y'all, back down here on the floor. Because let's talk water filters. So there's basically 3 filters on your water system. Okay, one is your water filter for your cold water, for your drinking water, for your sink. Again, it's only for cold, and it's only in the sink. It's, one of those Culligan filters. I think it's supposed to, it lasts for like 6 months or a year or something. Anyway, so when I did the sanitizing video, when sanitizing my freshwater system, we went over that, how to take that filter out and all that. So I don't need to go over that again with you. The other 2 filters that we are talking about today are the filters on the water pump. Or should I say pumps? Because the G floor plan of the Travato has not 1 but 2 water pumps. One is to pump the water around your rig. The other is the shower drain. Okay? So, because where the shower drain is and where the gray water tank is, you got to go uphill. So you need a pump. So there are 2 pumps. They are identical pumps, and they have filters on them. One is just a little bit harder to get to than the other. So we'll go over that. But they're both under here in your galley area. So we're going to do the shower drain pump filter first. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to get down here, you're going to open up your cabinet, and you're going to take all the stuff in your cabinet out. Yes, everything. Every little bit has to come out of here. Okay? That's why sometimes having bags, there's a Whole Foods wine bag. Put your bottles of wine in here, but instead I got like cleaning supplies. So you're gonna take your the false floor out of your cabinet. It's got a little hole right there. You just pop your finger in it and pull it out. Okay, so if you're ever wondering, this is what the underneath part of your galley cabinet looks like. All right. So here's your, this is for your shower. Your shower's right there. So this is the pump for the shower drain, not the shower water, the drain. Okay, so here's your filter. Now, when I first tried to take this off, I could not, figure out which way it was supposed to go. It's only supposed to be hand tight, but some people's hands are a little tighter than others. So what I did was, once I figured it out, I drew an arrow on top, right? Because just so I would always remember. Now, lefty loosey, righty tighty, but the thing is, and we'll see this, sometimes the way the filter's positioned, anyway, I just drew an arrow. It made it easier for me. Okay, so now here's the thing. The filter itself, housing, is underneath, okay? So you're going to have to get your hand in here, kind of over, and then unscrew it, right? And then it just drops down, and you pick it up, and there's your filter, okay? So you got this plastic doodaddy, the housing, and inside the plastic is this little metal screen, okay? Now, if I had been using my shower, which I have not, then there might be some water in here, and then there might be some debris in here. All right, so our filter was clean. I don't need to wash this one out because it was the shower one, and I haven't been showering in the rig. So then you got to get it back underneath, and then you got to get it threaded, and then you got to get it screwed back on. Okay. So you want it hand tight. Okay, so now we have done the shower filter cleaning. So now, you guessed it, You gotta put all your crap back in. One filter down. Alrighty, so now we gotta do the main water pump that pumps your fresh waters around your rig, right? From your freshwater tank into your faucets, your toilets, your showers, everywhere. Okay, so this is the important one. So, obviously, if it's the one that's more important to clean on the regular, what you want to do is make it the hardest one to get to. Right, Winnebago? Love ya! Alright, so this water filter, water pump and filter housing, it's the exact same one as is on your shower drain. It's just next to it. Under your drawers. It's in your drawers. Alright, so, first thing we gotta do, take everything out of the drawer. Now, you're gonna be tempted to try to do this by just pulling the drawer out with everything in it. I have tried that. It is a recipe for disaster, okay? And here's why. Well, first of all, it's also just a good time to go through your drawer and see what's in here and if you need to get rid of anything. But the drawer pulls on these drawers, not the greatest quality I've ever seen. And they are, you'll see, it is hard to get it back in when you're done. So that's the thing, right? Like, if you get it out and it's still filled with crap and you're trying to jigger it back in, you're going to have problems. You're just going to have problems. So, to get the drawer out, there's two little black tabs on the poles themselves. And remember, these are going to be a little greasy, so don't, freak out. They're going to be a little greasy. There's these two little tabs that you got to fiddle with to get the drawer to come out, okay? And you gotta, you gotta have enough space to get the drawer out. That's why I'm sitting to the side, not in front of it. And you press down on the tabs and gently pull the drawer out. Okay? There you go. That was the easy part. Alright, now we're going to get to the filter. Okay, now we didn't have to worry about it on the shower drain pump because I don't use the shower, so I know there was no water in it. But I cannot stress enough to you how important it is to make sure that your water pump is turned off at this point. Okay, again, I drew my little arrow to remind myself, lefty loosey, righty tighty. Anyway, so again, you got to get your hand, because the housing is actually underneath. So you got to get your hand in there and get her unscrewed. Okay, now you might also want a towel to soak up some water. I actually find it easier to get this off, and then get a towel and mop up any water. So you can dump the water out, and then you got your little filter, same as in the shower drain, right? You got your little filter, and then I don't know if you can see this real clearly, but those little white flecks that you see in there, some of that's it's not necessarily human lint, because remember, this is the pump from your freshwater tank to all of your systems. What those little white specks are is actually left over from the build. Mostly. It's little pieces of plastic, right? Because when they cut the pipes, the plastic pipes and stuff and fit them all together, there's little shavings from those plastic parts, and those are still going through this filter, even though, look, I've been full-time in this thing for a while, but you still get those little plastic shavings in there. So you want to get rid of those. Now, look, that's not super gunky. and my filter's not super dirty. So, I'm feeling pretty good about the water that I put into the rig. But remember, I have an outside filter on the hose whenever I fill up. And then and then it goes through several other little screen filters, the water coming in. So, you want to make sure you're not getting too much gunk in your water. So, but this looks pretty good. I don't hate the looks of that. That's not anything that I'm freaking out about. I'm just gonna clean it out, dump out that water, get those little plastic shavings out of there, give this little filter a rinse. Now remember, don't make this mistake. You can't turn your pump on, okay? Because this is open. So you need to have another way to clean this out. Just some outside water source if you need to rinse this guy out. So do not turn your pump on while you have that housing undone. Trust. Okay, so we cleaned out the filter. And it just sort of sets in there, right? Okay. Now we got to put it back in. Okay. We got to get underneath. And look, all these wires that are under here interfere with you getting it properly seated and threaded. But eventually you'll get it. Okay, remember, hand tape. Not crazy. Now, at this point, you're going to want to turn your water pump back on and make sure you don't have any leaks. So the water pump's back on. I don't have any leaks. So I've mopped up any water down there, made sure there's no leaks going on. Ready to put my cabinet back together. All right, so we got our filter cleaned. Now I got to get our cabinet back in. And this, I tell you what, this is the hardest part of this entire daggum thing. Getting this cabinet back in. So let's see how long it takes me to get this to work. Because you got to get it lined up on both sides. And you'll get one side. And then you got to get the other side. And then you got to get them both jammed in there correctly. See, that's not right. Something's off. There we go. Now, that did not take me long. However, that is because I have done this like a lot of times. And I will tell you that the first, second, and third time I did this, I fought these freaking cabinet gliders tooth and nail. Tooth and nail. And there's little ball bearings that are in there to come flying out. And you'll get one side in and you can't get the other side in. So the key is, you couldn't really see probably from that angle, but you gotta hold, when you push the drawer in, you gotta hold both of the rails sort of together. Otherwise one pops off and isn't making contact and isn't staying seated. Anyway. So, trust me, the first time, couple times you clean your filter, leave yourself plenty of time, space, energy. Don't be frustrated to get this drawer back in, because it's kind of a pain in the ass. So then, once again, put all your crap back in your jaw. And you might even discover some things that you didn't remember you had. Some things you wish you didn't have, you can get rid of, whatever. Do a little spring cleaning while you're in here. Anyway, so there you go. Pumps are cleaned. Alright, so that's it for the general regular maintenance that I do. If I miss something, by all means, down below and tell me. I also put, like in the toilet, Thetford makes a seal treatment that you put in there to keep your seals good, because you do not want the seals on your toilet to fail. Trust, that would be problematic. Anyway, so yeah, again, consult your manual. Look and see what regular maintenance needs to be done. Okay. Like sanitizing your fresh water system. I full time, so mine pretty much stays, I'm using it all the time. But if you don't, then you're going to want to sanitize your water system on the regular. Anyway, so to wrap up, check all your detectors, make sure your batteries are good there. Clean any air filter, clean any water filter. So, again, if I missed something, if I'm forgetting something, if you have a question, comments down below. I appreciate you watching, and I hope to see you on the road.